All right, so we just got done with day one of Precision Rifle with Fred Mastison of Force Options. And Kurt, we went into this class with no knowledge whatsoever.
Absolutely. So just a little bit of background, especially in terms of experience. I'm gonna be super honest. I had exactly zero.
My experience was taking iron sights out to 500.
There you go.
And that was it. So we really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And I think we have a new hobby.
100%. It was kind of funny because I was talking with some other folks who were there, and I was like, part of me really kind of wanted to sort of not be very good at this because it's way too much fun. This you deep dive in a hurry, and again, Fred is an amazing instructor. The entire experience has been great. The location we had it at was absolutely amazing. But yeah, I've learned so much today, and I'm super excited for tomorrow.
It's not just as simple as point and shoot. It's dialing in, you're doing math, we've got ballistic calculators on our phones. We're figuring out distance, windage, we're going even off the temperature of what's around us and the humidity, and this is getting into a lot of things that we've never touched on before because we're used to shooting pistols. Just going out here, you go out, we started at 100, we zeroed.
Yep.
Then we went to 194, and then out from there we went to about 375. And
yeah, it was like 372, then it was 408, 417, 440. Then we really started stretching it out. We got up to like 635, and then all the way out to 785.
And tomorrow we're going in further.
Yep, absolutely.
So let's kind of talk about what our setups are for this class. So I've got the Springfield Armory Waypoint 2020 with the carbon fiber barrel, carbon fiber stock, and 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm shooting a Huxworks Helix can on the end of that, and a Tracked Optics MRAD scope with a 2.5 215 power. And Kurt, what do you got?
Somewhat similar in a lot of regards, but there are obviously some difference. So I'm running the Bergara B14, same suppressor, pretty much the same optic except mine's an MOA. So that's actually been really kind of cool to be able to do. So, as we've been talking in between rounds, of shooting, just to be able to sort of compare notes and see how that goes is actually pretty neat.
So I know that for my mil dots, it's really easy to adjust and set, and the glass has been very clear on both these optics when we've looked through them. So neither of the optics are bad optics, but coming from mils to MOA, I really think mils is the way to go. That MRAD scope was super easy to get on. Shawn from We Like Shooting helped get me on target, helped me get everything set up. He was a great advisor, wealth of knowledge for this class, and he really did help us get me set up and on target very, very quickly.
I totally agree. Yeah, I think if I were to do it again, I would definitely go that route. MOA works, but it's more math, and I'm not math. But that's okay. But again, I mean, it works, and I totally agree. The fact that we had Shawn from We Like Shooting as well as Mike from AfterAction, and honestly, Fred really helped us out, just getting us set up beforehand. That was priceless, to be honest. I mean, I learned so much from that, and I think if I didn't have that information going in, this would have been a lot harder. And so just the fact that we were fortunate enough to have the amazing equipment that we did and the amazing people around us really made this class a whole lot easier and honestly a lot of fun.
Well, we went from nothing to, hey, let's take this class. We don't even know how to set these up properly. So Fred came in and helped us with all that. We had everything set up. We called a couple of companies, Springfield and Bergara have really helped us out. Track really helped us out. We had the Huxworks cans already, but they helped us out with those. So going from zero to now, I feel comfortable going out because, the first trigger pull at 100, I've shot 100. It wasn't that nerve-wracking, but once we got to that 300, 400 mark, that's where I was like, oh, I don't know about my skills on this. And then I was ringing headshots at 400, and then we started going out. We're ringing steel at 700, 800 yards. I shot one shot at 800 yards and immediately hopped off the gun and gave Shawn a high five because I hit it. I was like, whoa, this is super exciting. And that's what this is, because it's not like pistol shooting's fun, rifle shooting, like AR shooting and things that we are used to, they're fun, but this brings it to a whole nother level.
It's a very different game. I mean, I've done quite a bit of tactical training. And this is a very different approach. It's a different mindset. And it's a thinking game.
Yeah.
And I think it is. You have to slow down quite a bit and really be very deliberate about what you're doing. But I think the other piece to it is, and I appreciate your honesty in it, and it's true. We've never done this before, but I just encourage people to go out, take classes, take training, you know what I mean? Because it's just about getting better. It's about learning something new, and just becoming a better person and more proficient in whatever it is you're doing. So, again, it's one of those things I think that, people, you're always gonna have an excuse not to do it. You know what I mean? We're all busy, there's always something going on. There's always gonna be soccer practice or whatever. Like, I get it, and find time, just find the time and get out there and do it.
Well, we're making a whole trip out of this, and this has been a really fun experience for us as kind of doing this video in a blog format that we haven't done before. Failed to mention, both of us failed to mention, that these are both in 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yep.
We did have a 308 gun. Mike from AfterAction AZ brought his 308, and what do you think the advantage are? Do we really have an advantage over 308 with the 6.5 Creedmoor?
I definitely think you do. So we were running SMB 6.5 Creedmoor, and as I was spotting for Mike, and as we were kind of comparing notes, and you just kind of look at the ballistics of that and the holdovers that he's having to do versus what I'm having to do. It's substantial. Don't get me wrong, he was hitting it, but I could literally watch through the scope, through the vapor trail. You'd watch the arc.
Well, that's the other thing that we're not used to, the vapor trail. It's a lot of visual and hands-on and lots of fun with this. You're not used to when you're shooting handguns, because after a while, you blast through a couple hundred rounds, you're just done. Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of the SMB ammo, we're shooting 140 grain SMB tactical ammo. When we pulled it out, Fred kind of was like, I don't know. Yeah. But it's performing. It's really performing with some of the other bigger loads out there. Now, would I say it's a precision match load? No, but it's doing its job, and we're, for a budget-friendly load for the 6.5 Creedmoor, it's doing.
Yeah, I would say at this point, we definitely haven't hit the sort of stopping point. Hasn't been the ammo, to be honest. I mean, at no point have I been like, oh, gee, I think maybe that was the ammo. I mean, it is. If at least for me personally, if I pulled a shot, I'm like, yeah, that was me, dude.
Right. So all day we shot prone. Okay. It doesn't seem like it. We're going in this class, everyone was like, oh, this is going to be taxing. Your body's going to get tired. I'm like, I'm laying on the ground. I'm laying down all day. But no, after lunch, we were on the gun from 9 a.m. until about 12:30. Mm-hmm. And then we came back from lunch, and that's when we started going out to those further distances, and you start to feel it. You do. You definitely do. There's going to be a lot of Advil going on, I think. But that's okay. So, yeah. Yeah, so day one in the books. I think we had a successful day. We had fun. Now we're going to just go clean these rifles, get ourselves some grub, and sit down and enjoy our time with our friends who are in this Airbnb with us. And we'll get back to you guys after day two. And so, yeah, check it out. How you feeling? Feeling great. Live. Day two, baby. Day two. A little sore. A little sore. But it's gonna be fun. Yeah. Hit, baby. That's how you do it. Today, starting off at nothing to getting out there and reaching out to 800 yards, I've learned really how to hold over windage, get on target really easily. Going this whole process of never shooting long range to now going from 0 to 100 really quick. So I'm really enjoying this whole process all the way through, and the optic has kept up with everything we've done. Hey, John.
Hey guys, we're at day 2 of the Force Options Long Range Precision course. John, what's your takeaways, dude?
Well, first and foremost, I am sore. That was a lot more. I think total between the both of us, we shot 300 rounds through each of our guns.
Absolutely, at least. Yeah.
So for that aspect of it, this isn't really a high round count course when you think about it, but that's expensive. It is with the Creedmoor that we're using. But overall, you know, we reached out to 1,500 yards today, which was a lot harder than you think. Like 1,000 yards was hard, but then you start going further and further. It's like getting really, really difficult to.
I would agree, but I mean, honestly, we were pretty darn fortunate. I mean, the fact that, you know, I was running the Bagara, you had the Springfield, the tracked optics did awesome. The SMB ammo did amazing, honestly. At no point, you know, it wasn't exactly match grade per se, but it performed above and beyond, honestly. Like at no point was, I think, that ever an issue. You know, we were easily ring and steel. I mean, it is. We started out at 100. We went to what, like about 300 yards, then we went to 808. Looks like 920, then out to like 1040. What was it then, like 1200? And then we started reaching out to that 1450. And I know you started getting out to that 1550. I kind of ran out of time, so.
Yeah, so we were at, I think the first, like I said, we reconfirmed 0. That was the first thing we did in the morning because, you know, we're traveling, the guns are getting thrown in case, you never know what could happen with your 0, you lose 0 and stuff like that. So we reconfirmed, we went out to about 315, like you said, then we were at, depending on where you were at the line, because the way the line was set up, it was either 808 or 830. Mm-hmm. I know that where I was at the line, it was 830. Where you were at the line, it was 808.
Yeah.
And then we started going out further, it was like 940, and you were at 920. So, you know, it's a little bit of difference, but 900 yards was hard, but it didn't seem like it was that hard. 800 yards, I rang 4 in a row, no issues.
Yeah,
we
agreed.
got everything in.
Yep.
And the big challenge for today is where we're at for this class. We're in a valley, and there are 2 big cliff walls on either side.
Right.
So the wind coming in the valley is a little different than what's actually out there at 900 because it's hitting off the valley wall and kind of coming in, or those cliff walls. So I'm very fortunate that I had somebody who's done this before, Shawn, with We Like Shooting, behind the spotting scope to kind of give me those wind readage.
Right.
Because now I kind of understand it better that, you know, hey, this is where my holds need to be. We got a lot of mirage today. The temperature was the biggest issue today because we jumped from, it was like 75 yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was about 90 today.
Yeah, it was pretty warm.
So that, and then the tracked optics did great. I just wish we had a little bit more zoom.
I agree. I mean, we had ours basically maxed out at 15x. That being said, I mean, even when I was reaching out to 1450, I was still confident that I could easily do it. You know, I mean, yeah, we were getting out there, but the fact that it, even at 800 and at that 1040, very easily and confidently, I mean, we were, you know, hitting steel repeatedly. That's really saying something. I mean, I think the other thing that you really brought up that's huge, and it was an aspect of precision shooting that I didn't really even know about, was you've got to pair up and you've got to have a good team. And if you've got, you know, somebody really good, you know, as your spotter, I mean, they help you out, they walk you in, they're really being able to be those eyes and say, all right, this is what the wind's doing, you know, this is how you need to adjust. That was huge.
Yeah, and just the communication aspect, just making sure that everybody's on and just going from there. The other big thing is with that temperature jump, we got mirage downrange, but we were getting a lot of mirage off our suppressors.
Yeah.
I was getting really bad at 15x with the suppressor. The mirage was just, you know, throwing off, especially when you start going out to that distance. And when I go sight in, you know, go to 1200, I could still see the target in my scope. Mm-hmm. When I went to 1500, I ran out of elevation on the scope, which is a long distance for these scopes. You go all the way up, and now I'm holding not only that, but 10 mils up, so I'm at the bottom of the scope, and I can barely see the target. It's like in this little thing, and adjusting windage, And watching the rounds, because you fire and you and I are used to rifle and pistol, so it's almost instant gratification when you hit steel. With these, you fire and it's like
it's a
3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. Like at one point at 1500, I was shooting and then pulling my scope back down the target and watching the round impact downrange. It's just crazy to think like how long that takes.
It really was. I think that was a big takeaway for me as well. Is and our friend Mike from AfterAction, he was shooting 308, and it was really interesting seeing this. Honestly, the velocity differences between that and 6.5 Creedmoor. When I was shooting, you kind of figure out that timing, and then as I was spotting from on 308, he'd shoot, and I'd be like, oh, there we go. It was a big learning experience. And so I think overall, I mean, day 2 was awesome. I think we're all kind of a little bit sore, but that in a good way. Again, I just think, I can't say thank you enough to Bagara and Springfield and Tract and Huxworks. Without those guys, this class wouldn't have been near as honestly informative and fun.
Yeah, and just overall, my experience with this is I've had a great time, even though I'm sore and tired. You get really addicted really quick with this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
It's an expensive hobby, but no, you do, because it's a different adrenaline rush, I want to say.
Absolutely, it's a different game, but it is. When you're trying to reach out, and what I appreciate about it is you need to kind of slow down a little bit. A lot of the tactic stuff we do, it's about just kind of get in there and react. And you've got to kind of slow down, and you've got to really be very deliberate and figure out, all right, this is what we need to do. This is my hold, make sure your breathing's right and all that kind of stuff. So, overall, this whole experience has been awesome. And again, thanks to Fred at Force Options for putting this on.
No, and overall, I think that this is something that we need to do more of, because absolutely, and especially a lot of people were getting really great feedback from the brief clips we posted. Our setups are set up, and we do, like you said, we want to thank the people who helped us get this all set up. Even Fred came out and helped us get all the optics set up and everything like that. I can't say enough about my overall experience with this, and I hit a goal that I didn't think I would hit. It's 1,200 yards. And
absolutely.
Joining even the 1,000-yard club, and we're talking about it in class. 1,000 yards used to be the thing.
Right.
Now, with the way factory ammo is and the way these guns are set up, you could get to 1,000 yards for pretty decent money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's affordable to do, and it's very attainable to do. So again, guys, I just encourage you, go out, get some training, any opportunity you have to do that. If you guys have any other questions or want to see anything else, just feel free to comment in, and
yeah. And we will be doing full reviews on both these rifles here in the near future, and then we'll kind of sit down and talk about our experiences behind these guns. So kind of compare them to contrast, because they are both at the same price point and about the same style gun and everything like that. So again, we appreciate you watching. If you like more of these vlog style videos, please let us know down in the comments. This is our first of hopefully many to come, and have a great rest of your day.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our